3, 2, 1, go live. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay coming back again with another stream. Today is July. Oh, sometimes I wish I can go back. July 11th, 2023. And we have a good show tonight. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to the Rich Gang. Shout out to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. As we get into tonight's stories, obviously I have a few not mentioned in the title, but the main focus is going to be Microsoft, that big deal that just got pushed through, investing in AI and why I am, and then, of course, the Washington Commanders 2023-2024 season. So get your popcorn, make sure you smash that like, that thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to the channel, click that bell, turn on your notifications, that way you don't miss a stream like this, as we are on day 11 as we prepare for the NFL preseason. Shout out to Immortal, shout out to Bob Evans, Scott Cole in the building. What's up, Scott? Shout out to you, bro. Tech713 in the house. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get into it. The Powerball. Nobody has won. Before I go through the whole rundown, obviously, if you're watching this now, drop it in the comments or drop it in the chat. Let me know like what you guys would do if you won $725 million. If you're watching this after I go live or when I upload the video, drop it in the comments down below what you would do with your $725 million if you won. All right, let's get into the story. Powerball drawing. No winner in Monday's drawing. Jackpot climbs to $725 million. No one matched all six numbers in Monday night's $675 million Powerball drawing. The numbers in the drawing were 2, 24, 34, 53, 58, with a Powerball of 13. It says don't throw away that ticket just yet, though. There were a few winners of smaller prizes. So, got some winners out there. Some people won some money. 2 tickets were purchased in Texas, matched 4 of the 5 numbers in the Powerball, which is worth $100,000 with the power play. There was also a $2 million winner in Iowa and a $1 million winner in California. The next Powerball drawing is going to be Wednesday and will be worth $725 million. This is the seventh highest for a Powerball drawing ever. Listen, we're getting close to that billion, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like it's going to hit. I'm going to start taking bets as far as whether or not we're actually going to hit $1 billion. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think anybody's going to win it in between the time of now and getting to $1 billion. I think it's going to get over that $1 billion, and everybody's going to go crazy. Everybody's going to run out and buy Powerball tickets and put in a ton of money. But hey, we shall see. Hopefully, one of you guys will be the lucky winners, or myself, because like I said, if I did win the Powerball, I'm giving all of my subscribers $100 each. So lock it in. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Shout out to Patty. What's going on, Patty? Banana Man in the house. What's up, Banana Man? Shout out to you, bro. We got the poll going. Are the Commanders going to the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 58. You got one choice. You guys know it's all jokes. I'm not a hater. All right, let's keep it going. Next up, do you currently have an account with Bank of America? Well, if you do, you could be getting some money coming your way. Why, do you ask? Well, let's get into this story. So, Bank of America is being fined $150 million for consumer abuses, including fake accounts and bogus fees. The story dropped this morning at 10:43 a.m., published on CNBC. Key points of the story is going to be Bank of America engaged in deceptive practices that hurt hundreds of thousands of its customers in recent years, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said Tuesday. The bank charged multiple $35 overdraft fees for the same transaction, failed to properly issue rewards to credit card users, and signed up customers for card accounts without their consent, the CFPB said in a statement. The company has to pay $150 million in fines, as well as about $80 $8.4 million to customers who were unfairly charged bogus fees on top of the $23 million it already paid to customers who were improperly denied card awards. My goodness. So imagine this. You don't get your card rewards and they hit you with the overdraft fees. Now listen, obviously everybody doesn't have money, right? Somebody may have to, use their card for a light bill. They may have to go a little bit over for some groceries. And hey, I don't know whatever they have for, their overdraft practices or whatever. But hey, you go over $10, $15, they're slapping that $35 charging you like that. And who knows when you get paid. So that's going to rack up. And you're going to pay these guys a lot of money. But you know what I noticed? I noticed that with a lot of the banks, they actually stopped this practice years ago, especially Chase, Citi, and I think it was Wells Fargo, which is actually funny because Wells Fargo was actually in the news a few years back, if you remember, for basically doing the same thing, setting up customers with fake accounts and charging people's fees and all kinds of stuff. So really interesting what's going on with the banking system and how these guys are playing these kind of games. But it really is interesting to me because I think this is going to open up the door for FedNow. And if you don't know what that is, make sure that you go check that out because that's probably going to be the next wave as far as digital transactions and things like that. So, shout out to Scott. Says, good, I hate B of A. All I hear is stories of people getting screwed. Well, when there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. Shout out to Tennessee Tactical. I've been tapping in on these banks. Nefarious stuff, Jay. Listen, we have to mine this stuff out, right? Y'all know I love talking sports. The majority of you guys who rock with me have came to the channel because of sports. You guys know that we had another thing going on with We Need Clarity. But you know what I said? Instead of focusing on two, I'm going to just actually put everything on Jay. If they rock with me, they rock with me. You guys have been rocking with me. So we're going to mine out everything that we're supposed to in life, and we're going to have fun with the sports. That's just what it is. But this is very important stuff. This is very important stuff, and this is going to affect a lot of people. A lot of people bank with Bank of America. So listen, might want to go back, check out and see if you had any ridiculous charges on your account, or see if you have an account open in your name that you don't know about, because you could be owed some money, and somebody needs to answer for that. So there you have it. Before we get to the main stories, I have one more story here. Speaking of crazy stuff going on, you may not get your UPS packages as fast as you want them. You may have to deal with slow delivery times, and you may be wondering where that perfect gift that you were waiting on is at. You may be wondering, and the reason why is because UPS workers may go on strike. What it could mean for you and your packages. It's getting more interesting day by day. So, as we continue on here, the last time UPS workers went on strike in 1997, it's been a long time, FedEx and Postal Service scrambled to pick up the slack as the nation's largest delivery company slowed to a near standstill. Small businesses struggled to restock their shelves. Hospitals had a hard time securing supplies, according to New York Times reporting at the time. Before we even keep going, all right, this is 97. Supply disruptions, issues at the hospitals with supplies, that's 97. That's before e-commerce. That's before Amazon, all the online shopping, all the eBay, all the stuff that's been going on. So imagine if this was to happen right now, the severity and the chaos it would cause. Let's continue on. Consumers could face that and more if the Teamsters Union and management cannot reach a new contract deal by the end of the month. If a strike does occur, it will be very disruptive, said Jason Miller, interim chairperson for the Department of Supply Chain Management at Michigan State University. The consumer is going to be much more affected getting just everyday products that we buy online. So that means if you have, well, keep in mind, Amazon is kind of safe in this because they really rarely use UPS for certain things, but they do occasionally, right? If you don't get it from the Amazon truck, you're most likely going to get it from UPS. So what will happen if the UPS workers go on strike? Well, the 1997 strike threw a wrench in the supply chain. A 2003 stoppage could have an even greater effect on consumers now that the U.S. economy is ever so reliant on e-commerce. How many times do you use Amazon? Matter of fact, what did you buy during Prime Day? It could take a while to get to you. You never know. You never know. Census data shows that less than 1% of total retail trade sales come from e-commerce in 99. Less than 1%. And that was back in 99. The first year the data was reported. At the beginning of this year, it was 15%. That's how much it's grown since 99. The Teamsters Union has also grown since its last work stoppage from 185,000 members to 340,000 members. If a strike does take place, it would be the largest single employer strike in U.S. history. And you know what? I would consider myself to be a realist, right? I definitely would consider myself to have an open mind towards things. But hey, I'm just going to be honest here. With the way things are going, this is probably going to happen. So if I were you guys, I would definitely prepare for this. If you have any kind of e-commerce business, if you rely on things shipping to you, you may want to start preparing now, opposed to it happening and then you're scrambling at the last minute and dealing with these kind of issues. So it says even a short-lived strike could have huge consequences for consumers, according to Terry Esper, a logistics professor at The Ohio State University. Had to say it like that for my football fans. They have a large network. He set up UPS, which delivers nearly 25 million packages daily and about a quarter of all U.S. parcel volume. Taking that kind of capacity out of the market, even for a day, will have significant ripple effects. And that's where I'm going to end it, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, make sure that you guys are preparing yourself for this as far as what could happen, because it seems like it's going to happen and it's going to lead to a trickle effect for many other things. Because best believe if UPS does have a strike, it's going to put major constraints, not just on the Postal Service, but FedEx as well, DHL, and everyone else. All right. Next up, Microsoft. So if you've been under a rock, or if you haven't had a controller in your hand, there was a $69 billion deal in which Microsoft was buying Activision Blizzard. Well, Activision Blizzard owns multiple game IPs or game franchises. Primarily, you would know of Call of Duty. You know, that game that makes a ton of money. I mean, I'd probably like to say that they're not at the same standard as they used to be, but they're still very profitable. So with that said, Microsoft decided to go forth and buy Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty, along with a bunch of other games. Well, this basically has been an issue for Sony for multiple reasons. It's considered to be a monopoly. So Sony had an issue with it. The FTC tried to basically block the case. They actually lost today. So we'll get into this story. It says FTC loses case to block Microsoft Activision $69 billion deal. Microsoft will now own Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Candy Crush. I think your grandmother probably still plays that game. Getting into the story, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission cannot stop Microsoft proposed $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard. A California judge ruled on Tuesday. The deal, originally announced 17 months ago, can now move forward by the July 18th deadline. In her ruling, Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, pay attention to that name, said Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, say that 10 times, has been described as the largest in tech history, and it deserves scrutiny. As you can see here, Activision stock is currently sitting at $90.99. The stock changed $8.29 and went up 10% on this news. Microsoft, $332.47, went up 64 cents, and that is a 0.19% change. So if you guys have any Activision stock, you made some money. So then Florian Mueller says we have the decision. FTC lost. Microsoft ABK can close after considering the parties' voluminous pre and post hearing writing submissions are held a 5-day evidentiary hearing. The court denies the motion for a preliminary injunction. The FTC has not shown. So listen, why is this an issue? Well, obviously, there's been this battle going on for years. And if you're not a gamer, you're probably not going to know what I'm talking about. But the battle between Sony and Microsoft. Microsoft basically has been losing the hardware war over the years. So they say, you know what, we'll just buy the game companies. And then we'll make them exclusive to us, which, you know, subsequently may make people buy the Microsoft Xbox, which is their hardware. Is this good for business? Probably not. But the real issue here is Sony won't play ball either, right? I feel like if Sony played ball, opened up their exclusive to third parties as well, then you'd probably have a more open level of business on both sides. But obviously, we don't have that. So that's why Microsoft decided to buy Activision, which one of the biggest games coming out soon is going to be Starfield, I think it is, owned by Bethesda, and that will be on PC and Xbox. And unfortunately, that was supposed to be a Sony exclusive. See how that works? Just buy them out if you don't want to compete and you got the money. All right, next up, getting into Microsoft AI. Why people invest? Well, AI will help drive $100 billion in revenue by 2027. If you're not paying attention to AI, you definitely want to get on board. A lot of people are definitely scared of it, and I understand. But you have to realize that AI has been here before it was even mentioned in an article. There's so many things. I mean, you can even look at when you're going grocery shopping, when they started the self-checkout years ago. Well, that was AI. People are scared about losing their jobs to AI. I mean, McDonald's is basically making everything turnkey, so they don't have to have any workers. They don't have to have any cashiers. It's getting to that point. So if you don't embrace AI and you're scared of it, well, you're going to miss out. So, getting into the story. Given the run-up in AI-related valuations, separating the real deal from companies that are merely AI wannabes is critical. The first few things to consider are, will this company see revenue from AI, and if so, how soon? Although many AI stocks will not report enough AI revenues to survive the fierce competitive battle the tech industry faces, Wall Street investors can reasonably assume there we go. Lost my spot. Okay, Microsoft AI platform is... What do we got going on here? Come on. Forbes is killing me. All right, here we go. And the ads. Come on. All right, perfect. So Microsoft is a sleeping AI ML giant. Google gets a lot of attention here, yet I think they are equally prepared to serve this market. To Microsoft rival Google, the company has been investing in OpenAI, which is a large research and development operation that is breaking ground with AI algorithms that help computers to create images from text, reduce the amount of code that developers need to write, and also help robotics think and act like humans. Yes, they're looking to create robots that think and act like humans, and they're coming for everybody's job. DALL-E is a $12 billion parameter version of GP3 that creates images from text. The partnership with Microsoft will bring DALL-E apps and services, including the Designer app, an image creator tool, and Bing and Microsoft Edge. This was announced earlier this month at Ignite. Analysts have been raising their price targets to high 300s, with an Evercore analyst raising his price target to $400, stating the infusion of AI across Microsoft product portfolio represents a potential $100 billion incremental revenue uplift in 2027. To provide some context, Azure and Office 365 helped Microsoft add almost $100 billion in revenue over the past 4 years. It has increased from $110 billion to $198 billion in revenue, and the stock appreciated 180% over that time frame. So yes, it's very important that you guys start looking into AI and stop being scared of it. Use it to make money. Use it to do things around the house, figure out schedules. There's so many different things that you can do with AI, and just do your research. Don't be afraid of it. Use it. Shout out to D Tenzel. So what I missed, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Obviously, most of you guys are here for the Washington Commanders. Now, everyone knows last year was very, very tough for these Commanders. Tons of changes, tons of issues as far as with Mr. Dan Snyder, how the team was going to be sold, controversy left and right, a lot of issues that is going to make a team not be able to concentrate from a high-level executive all the way down to, your punt kicker. So let's get into it. Let's get into the depth chart. As far as your starters for the Commanders, this is all obviously preliminary, but as of right now, Sam Howell's going to be your quarterback. Second is Jacoby Brissett, Jacob Fromm, and then Tim DeMorant. As far as your running back, Brian Robertson Jr., Antonio Gibson, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Jonathan Williams. Wide receiver is going to be Terry McLaurin. Wide receiver Johan Dotson. Wide receiver Curtis Samuel. You have a great trio there. The real question is whether or not they're going to be utilized by Mr. Sam Howell. Tight end is going to be Logan Thomas. Fullback Alex Arma. We've got left tackle Charles Leno Jr., left guard Sadiq Charles, center Nick Gates, right guard Sam Cosme, and right tackle Andrew Wiley. As far as your defense, Chase Young, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, David Mayo, Cody Barton, Jamin Davis, Kendall Fuller, Cameron Curl, Derek Forrest, Emmanuel Forbes. Special teams, Joey Sly, Tress Way, Dax Milne, Antonio Gibson. For your kick return and your long snapper is Cameron Cheeseman. It's definitely going to be a long, long ride here for these Commanders. Looking at the schedule, we have the Cardinals, week 1, followed by the Broncos, week 2, followed by the Bills, week 3, followed by the Eagles, week 4, followed by the Bears, week 5, Falcons, week 6, Giants, week 7, Eagles again, week 8, Patriots, week 9, Seahawks, week 10, Giants, week 11, little back-to-back action. Week 12 is going to be the Cowboys. 13 is Miami Dolphins. 14 is going to be their bye week. Week 15, the Rams. Week 16, the Jets. 17, the 49ers. 18 is going to be the Cowboys again. Hey, listen, not too crazy of a schedule, to be honest. We'll come back to that once we get to the preseason. Preseason, they're going to start off August 11th with the Cleveland Browns. The August 21st is going to be with the Baltimore Ravens. And then August 26th is going to be with the Bengals. So, I don't see anything too crazy here, to be honest. I mean, you've got Arizona, Denver. Those are both games that can definitely win. Bills, you guys know I'm rocking my Bills Mafia. Eagles, they're definitely going to take a loss there. The Bears, I think the Bears will take this one. I do. I just don't. You know what? I think it's going to be a close one, but I do think the Bears can take it. Falcons, once again, maybe give that one to them. Giants and Eagles probably going to be back-to-back losses. Patriots, probably going to be another loss. Seahawks, I'm a believer in Geno and company. I think they show up again this year. Giants again, then Dallas. You know, looking at this, Commanders probably are in trouble. Shout out to Scott. Says, I'm sorry that lineup sounds like trash. A few good names, but thumbs down. You know what? I really was trying to be like unbiased and find like the good in it. And you're right. Text 713. It looks like 4 wins. Max. We're playing spades. This is like 3 and a possible. and that's including the preseason here, because this I just don't see how they're going to get past the Bills, Eagles, Bears without it being a fight. Giants, Eagles again, Patriots, Seahawks, Giants again, Dallas, Miami. Obviously, Tua's healthy, if he's healthy. Rams, they may take that one, but the Jets, 49ers, and then Cowboys, yeah, this is going to be a tough year for the Commanders, which is really unfortunate, because there was I want to say little specks of hope last season, but they just had so many issues at quarterback, and there wasn't any real chemistry as far as with the team in general. Now, obviously, you can't blame everything on Dan Snyder, but I think there was a lot going on in the locker room. I think they were just going out there trying to find an identity, and I think it's going to be another year or two before they really figure out their team in general. I mean, do they even know that they're going to have the same name next year? So there's a lot of issues there as far as that organization, that franchise as a brand, and what's going to happen to these Commanders moving forward. So, shout out to Myrtle, says, here's the thing, their defense line keeps points down and close. Well, you know what? Let's pull it up. Let's get into it. Let's look at the team. Let me see if I can reel this in here. There we go. All right, so we got last year total points per game, 18.9 versus 20.2. Total points, 321 versus 343. Total touchdowns, 36 versus 38. They did decent on their first downs. Did decent on their rushing first downs. Passing first downs, 184 versus 155. First down by penalty, 31 over 29. Third down efficiency was 81 out of 230. Third down percentage, 35.22%. Fourth down efficiency, 12 of 25, 48%. Completion and attempts, 344 out of 554. Yards was at 3,472. Yards per pass, 6.8. Yards per game, 204. Passing touchdowns, 24 26. Interceptions, 16. Yeah, that's going to hurt you. That's what's going to hurt you there. Those interceptions, 16 versus 9. Sacks and yards lost, 48 sacks, 311 yards lost versus 43 and 279. It's another thing that's going to hurt you. Rushing, they did decent, 538 versus 441. 2,143 rushing yards, so they did good there. Per attempt was 4. Rushing yards per game was 126. Rushing touchdowns was 9 versus 10. So a ton of yards, but not much touchdowns from those yards. Total offensive plays, 1,140. So they ran more plays. And they got more yards, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, penalties, 92. Total penalties for 805 yards. That's definitely going to hurt. Average per game was 47. And they had the ball longer than their opponents at 33 minutes and 21 seconds. Fumbles lost, 21 and 7. So, yeah. There is a lot to unpack as far as, offensive and their sacks, turnovers, things like that. You can get all the yards that you want to. If you're not scoring on those yards, then hey, you might as well have not gotten them in the first place. So, will the Commanders have a winning season? No. I don't think they will. I think this is going to be another rebuilding year. I think they're going to have to do a lot better as far as with the draft over the next 2 years. Make some trades, hopefully, get a good quarterback in there that can utilize some of the core players and go from there. So, yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it tonight. Make sure you guys smash that like, that thumbs up, and, of course, subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications by clicking that bell. Tomorrow, I think it's the Cowboys. Tomorrow, I think it is the Cowboys. Let me just confirm here. That's going to be a good one. Deep dive into the Cowboys. I'm going to enjoy that one. Let me just confirm here. I'm pretty sure it is. I was looking at it earlier, but there's so many teams, so many names. Yep, tomorrow's Cowboys. And then the 13th, the Dolphins. So we got some good back-to-back stuff. We got the Cowboys, Dolphins, and then the Eagles. So over the next 3 days, definitely going to take a deep dive into all three of those squads. Because we got a lot to talk about. Dak Prescott, whether or not he's actually going to show up, get to the postseason. How they're going to do at running without Mr. Zeke. The defense, is Micah Parsons still going to have that fight, that force, that tenacity? So, yeah, we're going to break things down with the Cowboys tomorrow. Go a little more in depth, and go from there. Shout out to Immortal, says buy a Powerball. Yeah, go buy that Powerball, $725 million. And if you win, don't forget your boy Jay. Because like I said, if I win, I'm looking out for all my subscribers. So make sure you lock it in. Shout out to Tech713 coming through with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to you, Tech713. Thank you for the support, my friend. Thank you for the donation. It is much, much appreciated. Sheila in the building. Shout out to you, Sheila. Thank you for being here. Shout out to all you guys. My man, Scott. I will see you all tomorrow. In the meantime, watch out for those videos. You guys know Jay's working. I'm on it. I'm working. And we're preparing for the preseason. All right, everybody. This